Thank you. Maybe each of you can respond to this question. With all of the scientific work that has been done over the last 20 years to appropriately characterize waste, do you have any recommendations for how Congress can improve the disposal of low-level radioactive waste? We'll start you, Ms. Sapilo.
No, the organization does not have any recommendations for how Congress can improve. We believe the compact system is working well. We believe that the states that regulate these facilities do a good job of regulating these facilities, and so we do not have any recommendations at this time.
Ms. Ng?
We do not have any recommendations to improve it either. Our facility has been up and operating just since April of 2012. We're still learning. We still have access and can maintain capacity for all the 50 states and D.C. and territories.
Mr. Smith?
Again, I'm not an expert on this, but if we were to change the language in the Nuclear Waste Policy Act to reflect composition of the waste, we think there are other alternatives for some of the waste that we currently have at Savannah River site. So we do see alternatives for that.
Ms. Apila, in 2008, the state of South Carolina restricted access to the Barnwell disposal facility to members of the Atlantic Compact Commission, essentially leaving the majority of the country without a site to dispose of Class B and C waste. And I understand that Colorado is part of the Rocky Mountain Compact, which has an agreement to send low-level waste to Richland, Washington. But will you describe how other states managed Class B and C waste prior to the opening of the site in Andrews County, Texas?
Yes, sir. Most of the facilities that generated low-level waste in states that did not have access to a facility during that time period between when the Atlantic Compact closed to out-of-compact waste and when the WCS facility was open to out-of-compact waste, those facilities were required to basically store their waste on site until they could have access to a disposal facility.
And your testimony notes that the Organization for Agreement States objects to NRC requiring a site to redo its performance assessment unless the site plans to accept new material. Will you please describe this issue in greater detail? Sure.
Essentially, the way we understand the proposed requirements of Part 61, that they would require all facilities, current facilities, to redo their performance assessments. And for facilities that are not going to be taking these unique waste streams, there's no need for that. And the cost that would be incurred by the facility to do this very detailed performance assessment, as well as the cost incurred to the agreement state to evaluate the performance assessment, could be significant. And those costs would not, or redoing these performance assessments would not enhance the safety of disposal of waste at those facilities if they're not going to be taking these unique waste streams.
What might be some potential implications if NRC's requirement forces existing sites to adjust their performance standards?
Again, our concern is that the cost that would be incurred by the facilities and the states to redo those performance assessments and evaluate them could be significant. And we don't, again, feel that that would be necessary and would not enhance any safety or of disposal of waste at those facilities.
All right. Ms. Ng, the federal government still must address how to dispose of depleted uranium as a result of enrichment. Currently, there's a significant amount of depleted uranium located at the Urenco facility just across the Texas-New Mexico border. Has the Texas Compact considered whether and how it would treat an authorization request to dispose of depleted uranium at the Andrews County facility?
The Compact would defer to the host state, Texas, on that matter. Currently, we will allow 275,000 curies per year as per Texas law into that facility. We do not distinguish if it is if the curies come from depleted uranium or another source material. And all of the authorizations are looked at and reviewed by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. To the extent through that review or statute they change that position, we would defer to that as a compact.
My time's expired.